hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. Um, something that I want to talk about today that I not only tell myself a lot, but I tell other people, but also, well, I think that you need to find peace in the midst of chaos, but I also hold myself accountable in a balance of not getting so used to finding peace in the midst of chaos that you think that's all that you deserve. So you know what? Today we're going to talk about it. I feel like finding peace in the midst of chaos is not about just removing yourself from difficult situations, but it's also about like finding this mental and emotional, this internal state of calm, of this stability, a calm nervous system, resilience, perspective, even in that situation. I feel like the world is very chaotic right now. People's lives are very chaotic right now because there's always something negative going on in your life. There's always a curveball that life is going to throw you, whether that be from people that you know, people that you don't know, just life overall in general. There's always going to be something negative trying to distract you from what you should be doing in life, your purpose, your course, something always trying to bring you down. There's just always going to be some sort of chaos in your life, and finding peace in the midst of chaos is you even being calm and stable even in that chaos. It is an active, mental, emotional, conscious decision that you have to continue to make to maintain and sustain a steady mental and emotional state, that steady center in your life internally, where that when you are experiencing negativity, whether you are experiencing turmoil, whether you are experiencing anything that's trying to throw you off your path, anxiety, high stress, worrying, even when you experience those things, you maintain a steady center. And even I think an important thing that I've had to do is even redefining what peace even means to me. Peace is not all about just the absence of noise, the absence of trouble, the absence of conflict. I also feel like it's that presence of just an inner calm, that stability, a calm nervous system, those that quiet noise, not that noise, but the quiet feeling that you have even when trouble, even when noise, even when conflict are very present in your life, you're still able to maintain that inner peace, that inner calm, that inner quiet. And even doing that when there is a storm developing around you, even doing that when your life outside of you is just so chaotic, but continuing to have that calm nervous system, regulating your emotions, just keeping that strong center emotionally and mentally, I feel like is very important. Also, you have to realize that, there's going to be parts of you, or eventually you'll come to this realization, like I did. You're going to have to let go of this need to control people, to control things, to control circumstances around you, and stop more so working toward acceptance rather than control. Accepting the reality of the present moment. Okay, life is chaotic. Stop trying to potentially control that chaos, whether it's from people, whether from some circumstances, like I said. And even in that chaos, what can I do to even accept the chaos? Not saying accept it overall to the fact where, well, somewhat enjoying the chaos, but finding a sense of peace even in the midst of chaos, to the fact where, like I said, you have that steady center even in that present moment. And I feel like it's important too to observe your emotions, how you feel, what you're thinking. Mm, Even observing stressful situations, and instead of being consumed by them, instead of letting your emotions consume you, allowing them to pass, not necessarily always making, what is the word, making decisions based off those emotions and how you're feeling in those short, quick moments, but even allowing yourself to even process them. Moments where you are pausing, moments where you're thinking, moments where you're meditating to get yourself together. You're observing, how am I feeling? And then you're questioning, why am I feeling this way? Just, I feel like it's just important to investigate those things about yourself. And something that I've had to do, I continue to talk about in my videos. I'm sure I'll talk about them multiple times. Setting boundaries, protecting your peace, protecting your internal peace while everything around you is going crazy. Protecting that peace, that thing that keeps you sane, that thing that keeps you calm, that calm nervous system. You want to protect that. And you want to do that by intentionally disconnecting yourself from toxic situations, from toxic people, from excessive news, because the news, I feel like, stirs up fear in people. It will stir up feelings of chaos, anxiety, you stressing out. Staying away, maybe putting a time limit on social media, because that does the exact same thing, because it's so much news that you're consuming that we never consumed before, because now we have all this access to people halfway across the world in another country somewhere, and you watching what they going through when you didn't have that exposure to that news, 10, well, let's say 15 to 20 years ago. I don't know, you have to set boundaries as an act of self-preservation, as an act of protecting that peace and preserving that peace, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of this crazy world, or even your world, something that's trying to distract you and throw you off course. Because I feel like if you do not separate yourself from your distractions and the things that are trying to throw you off, chaos all around outside of you, I feel like that chaos, those distractions, that negativity, all that will separate you from your goals, from the life that you want, your future, just all the things that you want to accomplish overall. So, you do not want your distractions to separate you from the life that you want. You're going to have to separate your distractions. And I feel like it's not about escaping chaos of life, of the things that get thrown your way, or feeling like you have to run away from them, something like that, as if, or just something running away from them. Life does not stop messing, excuse me, life does not stop being messy. Life does not stop throwing negativity at you. Life does not stop throwing curveballs at you. Problems, situations that are going to invoke feeling, stress, anxiety out of you. Emotions are still going to come. Challenges are still going to arise. But the storm doesn't end. The storm doesn't end just for you, and just for you particularly. You're gonna have to find peace in the midst of the chaos, peace in the midst of the storm that life throws at you, those curveballs, and just maintaining a calm nervous system even in this situation of peace. Because if you don't maintain your peace in the midst of chaos, or if you don't have any peace in the midst of chaos, well, life just, everything will stress you out. High anxiety, high stress levels, wear yourself out, health problems. Just you're gonna have to regain some sense of peace, even in a situation that is hard to control. Some sense of a calm nervous system, um, stability, calmness, something. But this is also another point that I want to say. Yeah, you have to maintain peace in the midst of chaos of life overall. But I also want to say you don't want to get so, you have to be careful with becoming comfortable with chaos. You have to be careful with that, with all the noise around you, that you get so used to operating in chaos. You get so used to that, finding peace in the midst of chaos. You get so used to doing that, almost like you enjoy being in chaos. I don't know. I don't want peace and positivity to feel abnormal abnormal or wrong to you. I don't want chaos, you operating in chaos and always trying to find that peace in the midst of chaos. You don't want that to become your normal. That peace doesn't feel like a relief, or it feels like a threat. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when your life has been filled with instability, has been filled with chaos, has been filled with negativity, has been filled with just toxic situations overall, you can get used to, like I said, finding peace in the midst of chaos because you're trying to turn a negative situation and find the positive even in the situation. But I just don't, what I have to hold myself accountable to, I don't want that to become, I don't want to get so used to playing that role that I feel like I'm not deserving of just peace. Now, I'm not just talking about peace in the midst of chaos, just peace without chaos. Because I feel like over time, your brain will wire itself to expect chaos as a baseline for survival because you're so used to, like I said, having to find the positive and the negative, having to find that peace and that chaos in a bad situation that's toxic, that when things are calm, like completely calm, your nervous system interprets the lack of chaos, the lack of noise as a sign that you need to stay on edge. You need to stay on your P's and your Q's, always scanning for something, getting ready for something, for life to throw you a curveball, to sneak, it's in the bushes hiding, and it's gonna pop. Something negative is gonna pop out of the middle of nowhere, just sneaking up right behind you. I just don't. I have to hold myself accountable to this. Do not sabotage your future peace just because chaos feels comfortable and is familiar. That you get so used to finding a positive and a negative, operating from that peace. Always trying to have peace in the midst of chaos, that you feel like you're not deserving of just straight peace overall without any chaos. Like you feel as though when good things happen to you, okay, where's the negative at? Life about to throw me something. I mean, sometimes life does, but sometimes something is just really positive. Not always trying to look or wait for the negative to pop up when your blessings come or when you're having peace and you have a calm nervous system. Learning to accept that without, thinking about the potential chaos all the time. And, I have to break this cycle. Breaking this cycle requires that you teach your body that it's safe to breathe without chaos, without a crisis, without waiting for the negative. It's okay to feel this peace. Um, you can have peace without chaos. You can have peace without being in the midst of chaos. You can have peace overall. You are deserving of it. And it's something that you should enjoy when that peace comes to you. You should enjoy that peace and not, you know, your nervous system starts getting on high alert because you're looking out for, that curveball. Just realizing me that I'm deserving of peace. I'm deserving of good things that happen to me. Um, Trying not to, calm that nervous system so that when good things happen, when I'm in that state of peace, that I'm not looking for chaos or I'm not waiting for chaos to happen to me that I do not appreciate. And you know what? This is what it is. When you're in that mental state of you finally get peace and you're looking for chaos, or you feel as though life is going to throw you a curveball, something toxic is going to happen to distract you from this peace that you have. I feel like in that instance, you're not even appreciating the peace of the present moment. You're not even appreciating the blessing or the present moment of you having that peace because you're so worried about what life is going to throw at you, a curveball or some negativity, or always having to thrive in finding peace in the midst of chaos. You're not even appreciating the peace when it's just peace without chaos. So holding myself accountable to that. Like I said, I am deserving of peace. I am deserving of good things that happen to me. I am deserving of blessings. And not focusing and feeling so comfortable in finding peace in the midst of chaos that I feel like that's all that I deserve. No, you deserve peace even without the chaos. And sit in it. Sit in it, sit in that moment, appreciate it, absorb it, soak it in because you're deserving of it. You are deserving of it. And it's just something that you should really enjoy and you should really appreciate. Yeah. Anyway. But I hope everyone has a fantastic day today. Like I always say, it's a good day whenever you wake up because you could be dead right now. A lot of people they didn't make it to today, so it's always a good day whenever I wake up. Um, but yeah, I hope everyone has a fantastic day today. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.